Hi everyone, and welcome back. I'm with Tammie Crabtree. How are you, Tammie?
I'm good.
Good to see you again, and you're the Executive Director with Operation Care.
Yes.
Okay, and you've been on board almost a year now.
Yes.
And you were telling me right before the break you're busy.
We are busy.
Okay.
An increase in numbers at our safe house and in our office. We're very busy.
Okay, and I commented, in your line of work you probably don't want to be busy.
Right.
Right. But in economic times as these, that's one of the toughest things on a couple. It's probably on everybody as a single person, but also as a couple. Our economic times when things go bad, it really gets tough to keep your cool.
Right.
Doesn't it?
Right. Trying to figure out how to support the family when somebody loses their job, and then it just adds a stress factor to things that are already going on in your life. So it is very difficult. Okay.
And of course, your outfit there, Operation Care, is there to help. And you have a new advocacy program. Actually, a new advocacy. You probably have the same program up there as down here, but it just opened up in Pine Grove. And why don't you tell us about the Advocate Assistance Center there?
Well, we opened another office in Pine Grove mainly because probably about 50% of our clients come from upcountry, and there's always the need for transportation and the issue of transportation not readily available for some people. So we were trying to eliminate, the struggle of trying to get to our office in Jackson. So we wanted to give something closer for the people upcountry that they can access us and not have to worry about gas and things like that, getting back and forth to town. So we just thought it'd be a good idea to put it upcountry.
Okay, tell us a little about the clients that you have. What kind of problems are they facing?
Well, we deal with domestic violence and sexual assault clients, and so, it's men and women, and of course the children are affected that live in those homes. So we have all kinds of different support programs with groups and counseling, and, for the teens we have prevention type services where we're going out into the community and talking with teens, and we have groups for teens, boys and girls, to help them kind of, as they say, nip it in the bud before it gets to those, learning skills where they can learn to handle their emotions before they get out of control. Right,
and of course if it's closer, it's easier to get there, it's easier to get some help. Right. And so that move up there is, as you said, if that's where 50% of your clientele is coming from, it's a good thing.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely something that we've needed for a while. And last year we had an increase in our safe house clients from 35 to 70, and that's just the women and children that are there. And then we also provide hotel vouchers and things for men. And we've seen an increase in all of our numbers across the board for all different types of violent crimes.
Well, that's well, I'm glad you're there to be able to take the increase in in this volume to help out because when you get stressed out and start getting violent in your home, you really need some help quick. And of course, some people, this is a problem that maybe happens because of economic times and different times. Other people might just have problems with this, and it's been an ongoing thing, and that's another reason to be up there, because when someone's trying to break the domestic violence cycle, the easier it is for them, the more likely it's to happen, right?
Right, and we do offer, with the economic times the way that they are, we do have classes for women and men, economic empowerment classes, basically teaching job skills, resumes, things like that, trying to help them get back on their feet if they're out of the work world. Now,
does a person have to, suppose a person feels they might be getting violent, can they come down and say, hey, I'm getting some issues? Is there some help that you have? Do you have classes to help, before the fact?
We do. We have... we do get a lot of calls for people who are saying, I think I might have a problem with my anger. And we do have some anger management classes that are geared mostly towards the youth, but we can kind of adjust those depending on the situation. And, it's really nice when somebody does call and say, I think I might be headed down this road and I'd like some help. So we do everything we can to get them the resources, to stop before that behavior continues. And they're in a position where either law enforcement's involved or just a violent episode happens.
Okay. Now, about how many people are involved in the upcountry office? Do they shift from one office to the other at different times, or?
Right now we kind of have a rotation going. We have usually 1 or 2 advocates there at a time, and then altogether we have about 10 staff members at Operation Care, and we have a handful of volunteers to really offset the workload. And, you know, we do transportation. Also, we have 2 vans where we're taking people back and forth to doctor's appointments and court and things like that.
And of course, that's an important part, being the advocate for people that are the victims of domestic violence. They feel they have someone there to help walk them through, give them some understanding, and let them know what situation they're going to be in, you know, with going to the court and things like that. Is that correct?
That's correct. And, you know, our goal at Operation Care is to provide the resources and give them a different way of looking at things. We always offer support and things like that, but it's always the individual's choice if they're going to take, you know, the resources we've given them and make a change.
Well, it's very good that Operation Care has funding for this. Are your funds threatened in any way, or you seem to be doing okay?
We are doing well right now. We just submitted our grants for CalEMA for our rape crisis and domestic violence programs. CDPH, California Department of Public Health, has just given us a little more money for prevention. That's really a focus for a lot of these agencies, is the prevention.
For a long time we didn't have all that assistance, and somehow we got more money. Is that correct?
Right. I think that people are
started
recognizing...
treating us more equal as what was the problem, right?
Right. So we did get those funds, and that's why we were able to open this office.
Okay, well, that's really good and very, you know, certainly is needed. And we have a couple of minutes here left. Why don't you go ahead and tell people what they should expect if they give a call to your office, and what they'll hear on the other end of the line. And of course, maybe follow that up with the emergencies that are, you know, probably key to Operation Care as well.
Right. When you call our office, you will be connected with a peer counselor, and that person will ask you a series of questions trying to determine which resources you will need. We always encourage anybody who's in a dangerous situation at the time to call 911.
Okay.
We don't want anybody being in risk in any way or jeopardizing themselves or their children.
Right.
And so we just have a whole list of resources, and we network with all types of agencies throughout the county, and we can find resources here and in other counties.
Okay, and once again, it's very important to break this cycle of domestic violence. So anywhere you are in the cycle, I think it could be broken, but you need some help. You need to make that call, right?
Right.
Why don't you give people the number one more time to reach out for some professional help?
The best number to call is 223-2600, and that number will hook you with an advocate at any time, day or night.
I sure want to thank you, Tammie, for coming by.
Thank you.
Okay, and thanks again, and stay with us. More news on the other side of the break.
You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN.